Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video, and today, or last night, I finally beat Alan Wake after playing it for like what seemed a month. Did I keep the receipt in here? No, I didn't, and I'm still not finished it because they give you bonus add-on. The Rider, I think it is? The Rider, no? Fuck, I don't know, but I've got to play that anyway. But now that I've beat that, now I can go back to playing Mass Effect 2, because I bought all the DLC when it was like 80% off or whatever it was, 66% off, and I never played any of it. And now I've got to go back to playing Fable 3. So, Alan Wake, is it a good game? Is it a bad game? It's a good game. You know, if you're on my Facebook, you'll know all the status update I did having a big complain about it, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But if you're a story gamer like me, this game is simply amazing in terms of story and storytelling to a certain extent. Again, we'll get into that a little bit later. But Alan Wake, you're a rider that goes on holidays with your wife. Your wife goes missing and is captured by the Taken or the Darkness, and you got to fight them and shoot them and all this kind of stuff, and you got to get your wife back by writing the story. Yes, you are literally in your own story. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? But of course you already know this because you played it when it came out, and I waited a year. But no, seriously, if you haven't played it, you're a big story game, you need to go out and buy it. It's not worth buying a 360 for, you know, if you're an exclusive whore. Now, what is the worst thing about it? The gameplay. I know what you're thinking, but the gameplay is so goddamn repetitive. This is a long game. Alan Wake is a long game. There's about 6 chapters, all of which can go for like 2 to 3 hours. It depends how you play them. And in most of that, you are just wandering through a forest, shooting and killing the exact same enemies. And it is a very, very, very hard game towards the end. I played on normal. There's no easy. It's normal, hardcore, or just insane hard. You know, I suppose that's just the generic difficulty settings. And it's fucking hard. Towards the end, all I did was run. You know, because I couldn't kill anything. I kept running out of ammunition, which is another point. People in this, it was probably just me, but the way that you aim is because the Taken, or the Darkness, whatever it is, they're people, right? So if you aim the torch at them, they get blinded, and you got to keep refilling it with batteries. And when you blind it, like the beam of the torch goes to a little circle, and that's where you shoot. And I could never get the hang of it, and I still can't get the hang of it, so I missed a lot. And there are a lot of enemies like the big guys, and you can pump like 10 rounds of shotgun in their face and they're not going to die. But, you know, it got a lot better towards the end, definitely. Like there was this one scene towards the end where you're playing on a rock and roll, you're playing on like a rock stage, and fireworks are going off and music's playing. It's amazing. Probably one of the best scenes in a video game I've seen in a while. Well, you know what I mean, it's that good. To me, anyway. You might have a different opinion on it, but you're wrong because I'm right. And, what else is there? Yeah, the manuscript pages, they're collectibles and they tell you what's going to happen next, which is really, really, really good, except later on in the game, it starts relying on them a bit too much to tell the story for you, and you don't always get all the manuscript pages. So that kind of really annoyed me. But the thing about Alan Wake is it's repetitive. You're like in a generic forest environment, killing the same enemies time and time and time again. And you know, after like 3 or 4 hours, you know, I get it. I get it, I know what I'm doing, I know how to do it and all this other kind of stuff, and it just got boring. It got really boring. And there's only like a cutscene at the start and the end of every chapter, and the cutscenes are really well done. Except the voice acting. I'm not a big fan of Alan Wake's voice. He seems to rush everything and have no emotion, which pissed me off throughout the whole game, but nonetheless, what else is there? But yeah, just the repetitiveness of it is really, really, it takes away from the experience a lot. Because, like I said, this is the same forest, the same enemies, but you know, the storytelling's great, the cutscenes are great, the story, it's great. The downloadable content, can't speak for, haven't played it yet. Gonna get into that right now. So definitely a good game, but very repetitive game. So if you can appreciate a really good story, then you need to go and buy this game. If you're looking more for gameplay and all that kind of stuff, don't bother. So that's my review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Have a good one. Au revoir.